Grip World. This is episode number 51 of This Week in Grip. And before Alan gets on, I've got something that I want to read and discuss with you, and I'm looking for your feedback. I thought this was pretty interesting, and while I'm doing this, you can go ahead and give this video a like. It'll help us out big time here at This Week in Grip. So here's the question I've got for you. Do you swear when you train? And did you know it might just make you stronger? Now check this out. Here's an article posted by Anna Kira Stinson on January 10th, 2018 that I've been hanging on to for a few months. And it says, cursing while working out might boost your performance, so let your F-bombs fly. And I want to know, do you swear when you train? Talk about it in the comments section below. Here's the article. You've been there before. I know you have. You're in the middle of a ridiculously difficult workout, and suddenly the cuss words just start raining from your mouth like a summer storm. Just yesterday, while I was in a dance cardio class, I was swearing like an angry trucker underneath my breath because I was so damn exhausted. And while cursing certainly felt like it helped me get through my workout, believe it or not, there's now actual scientific evidence that cursing while working out not only expresses how difficult that last set of leg lifts is, but actually makes your workout more effective. Sounds almost too good to be true, right? Well, a study published in the journal Psychology of Sport and Exercise says it's actually pretty darn true. The study found that swearing aloud can improve your physical performance, your strength, and your power while you work out. The study, which was conducted by Dr. David K. Spearer of LIU Brooklyn and Dr. Richard Stevens of Keele University in the UK, asked people to identify a swear word that they might use if they were to accidentally bang their head on something. For the non-swearing trials, they were asked to identify a word they might use to describe a table. The participants were then asked to hop on some stationary bikes and do a couple of strength-related tests. In the first section of the study, 29 participants sat on a stationary bike and pedaled as hard as they could. During their first ride, they were asked to swear during the workout, and then they did the same test again, but that time without swearing. Then in the second section of the study, 52 participants used a hand grip device that tested grip strength, and the first time around, they did so while using their chosen curse word, and then they performed the task again while saying the non-swear word. The results? Swearing while doing these various exercises was shown to produce nearly a 5% increase of initial power during the 30-second stationary bike test and an approximate 8% increase in the test of hand grip strength. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty cool. I'm still reading the article, by the way. I'm never holding back my F-bombs during a workout ever again. And according to Dr. Stevens, there could be a psychological reason for the positive effects of cursing. In a press release sent to Elite Daily, Dr. Stevens explained, swearing appears to be able to bring about improvements in physical performance that may not be solely dependent on a stress response arising out of the shock value of the swearing. He added, we know that swearing appears to be handled in brain regions not usually associated with language processing. It is possible that activation of these areas by swearing could produce performance improvements across many different domains. Dr. Spearer agreed, and he went even further to say that cursing during a workout might somewhat veil the effort and the pain of a really difficult task. Ultimately, both doctors encourage the use of swear words in tasks that call for bursts of energy or strength because their findings suggest that cursing might be helpful in getting the job done faster, more effectively, and with less pain. Moreover, there's even been some speculation that the sense of catharsis you feel after dropping an F-bomb could have the same type of mind-body effect as when you use a mantra during meditation. Pretty cool, right? Bottom line, and this is from the author, I say anything that makes burpees easier is worth it. So when it comes to swearing during a sweat sesh, I'm going to keep on keeping on. And that is the opening discussion item, swearing while you train. Do you swear, and do you feel it helps your workout? Please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. I'm anxious to hear it. And like I said, this is Jed Johnson here with episode 51. Pretty sure I'm joined by Alan Hynek now. Is that correct, sir?
I am on. And
All right.
with regards to your opening statement, I only caught part of that, but I tell you, after you take a big old huff of nose torque, you're always looking to drop an F-bomb. So I think you could get doubly fired up when it comes to these workouts nowadays. Yeah, that sounds like I never considered swearing, but that's something I think it's worth trying. Why not?
Yeah.
I train in my basement, so I'm free, I guess.
Right. You don't. I mean, you can sound like a true idiot if you're swearing at the commercial gym. Especially if they don't know who you are and you're on a business trip, or you're traveling on family vacation and you start dropping F-bombs in a string. I'm sure that it makes you look like somewhat questionable. But I also train alone most of the time, so in times where I feel the need, I drop some swear words every so often. I'm not sure. I think sometimes it can actually have an opposite effect on me, though. Sometimes when I let the floodgates open, it's almost sometimes like I lose control. I lose my grip on the workout, if you will. And I don't know. I think I could go either way on that, Alan. So
yeah, it would definitely have its place. You wouldn't need them for tricep pushdowns or anything like that, but I could see going for some max effort, axle lift or something you've finally locked out, after many years of trying. That's always good for a few four-letter words coming out. But
true.
But yeah, worth experimenting with it nonetheless.
Yep, for sure. Just a little review. Episode 50 last week was just me talking about training for the April 28th, 29th grip contest in Philadelphia. Hopefully everybody got something out of that, although judging by the fact that we got 2 thumbs downs, which I think was the first time it's happened, I guess it's safe to say that it wasn't a really popular show. So I apologize, but I wanted to get one in there because we hadn't had one for a couple weeks, and we really couldn't pull it together between our 3 different schedules as it is today. Ricardo is at basketball tournaments again with his kids, so we're still batting 2 out of 3 here for getting all the participants on the horn. Let's see. I checked out the hashtag, Alan, for This Week in Grip. That is the hashtag that we use, everybody. So if you want us to see your feats, make sure to use the hashtag This Week in Grip, because that's what we use to line them all up real quick and easy. I saw that we are at 1273 about 15 minutes ago. That's up from 1246 last week. So it's cool to see it up over 1,000 and still continue to grow, Alan. Yeah,
it's flying right along. So that's nice. Got a lot of regular contributors. So some of our injured folks are starting to come back. I know James Rodriguez was down for a little while, and he seems to be back in action. Brian Hunsacker too had something going on, and it looks like he's found at least a workaround from one of his injuries. So good to see some of the regular posters back at it.
Yes, it is good to see, and not only does it help us track things, everybody, it just helps establish that presence of grip training, grip sport, grip strength in general. So make sure to do that. It helps us spread the word. It helps promote that presence. And remember, everybody, the first rule of grip sport is you tell everyone about grip sport. And what I'd like to have everybody do this week is I would like to have everyone listening go up to somebody, a random person on the street, and challenge them to a grip contest. And I want you to lose. Whether it's a handshake competition, finger war, Indian finger wrestling, thumb wrestling, go up, talk smack, make it a big deal, and lose. That's how we're going to grow this thing this week. Alan,
Mercy
what's up, dude?
A good one.
Yeah, Mercy. Yep. Mercy's another good one.
Years. So
yep.
I'm doing better. Little improvement here. A few weeks out of the shoulder surgery now, so dealing with a little pain, not able to get a whole lot of stuff accomplished, but doing what I can do anyway. So how's everything going with your training?
Not too bad. I have this crazy callus on my left thumb that I've been afraid is going to just completely rip off and cause me some big hassles, but it hasn't. In fact, it actually part of it came off almost like just a carefree skin falling off and blowing away in the wind, and now it's a little bit smoother. So I feel like I'm not going to cut someone if I like grab their wrist or something like that. I'm not going to cut them open with this callus, like seriously, but it was like uncomfortable. Like I put my hand on my knee last week, and I thought I sliced my knee open. So that part of it actually fell off. It must have like worn off or something, and now it's just a rough spot on my thumb. Hopefully I still get the engagement out of it and can incorporate it in the block pinch for the Philadelphia contest next weekend, but at least now it's not some kind of hazard to other people's health.
Yeah. Where did you get your callus? What part of the thumb?
It was like right in the middle of my first phalanx, the initial bone in the thumb.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's kind of the contact point for the Iron Mine block.
Yeah, so, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of like
a painful spot.
Yeah, it was. It was actually hurting. I liken it to John Eaton used to have this incredible callus on his right hand from grippers. I never saw anyone else develop this kind of callus. It was right in the center of his palm, and it made for an incredible, almost like an extra finger, just an incredible break for the gripper handle. It would sit right against that callus, and it just wouldn't move. And for as long as I've known John, it was well, for as long as he was doing grip, he had that in his palm. That's the only one that I've ever seen like it, how it was molded for the device. So
that's crazy. You're doing a lot of gripper work if you're building up something like that.
Yeah, well, I think when John was doing it, I think grippers was all that he was really doing consistently. So it that had something to do with it. That area of the skin was moldable, and he was doing it quite frequently. And I think that's what happened. I think that's what caused it. He just wasn't doing much other stuff. So,
sure.
Yeah. So let's see. I was thinking, Alan, maybe I could run down a few of the things that I had, and I know that you have some candidates for feat of the week. So maybe I'll run down a few things that I had, and you can throw those at us. What do you say there?
Sure, sounds good.
All right, cool. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knew about Steel Shredder number 3, which is going on until the 31st of May, 2018. I don't think this has been mentioned before, so I wanted to make sure to cover this. This was buried in my email. I still have stuff from like February that I haven't shared here in the show. And this is a note from David Horn, who's running it. It's the brace bend, 14 to 8-inch brace bend. What's that? 8-inch, 14 8-inch spike style bar bending, rated steel. What's the 14-8? What would that be, Alan?
14,
you got any idea?
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I have no idea. It does have 8-inch, but I don't know what 14 is doing in there. So maybe someone does know, and they can explain it in the comments section. But it says here, brace bending has always been popular through the years. Bending thick bars doesn't get more impressive unless, of course, you snap them. We are now taking the standard up a bit higher from the old brace bend ratings on my site, which have been the numbers to shoot for. Now you will have rated poundage numbers to bend. We will have 4 sections. But for Steel Shredder number 3, we will use the spike style size of steel. The bend must be completed within 5 minutes. The bar may be bent over the knee, leg, head, neck, stomach, or even in the mouth. Ugh, in the mouth. Jeez. All right. The bar cannot be bent by the feet or the floor. 1 single 10x4 world of grip wrap on each side of the bar, and 1 towel can be used for protection for where the bar will be bent over your body. No wrist wraps allowed. A completed bend is when the bar has been bent into a U shape and the legs are parallel to each other, and the bar used will be a rated World of Grip steel bar. And I know that there are some other rules to go along with that, so if you hit up David Horn or check out either his Facebook page or his site, I'm sure you can find the rules for Steel Shredder number 3. I know that there's been a couple videos posted. I think we saw one from Elizabeth Horn and maybe a couple others. So keep up the good work with those and hope it all goes well. Oh, let's see. The other thing that I wanted to mention in particular was I saw that Sean Capusta, I believe, ended up tearing at least a partial, and I believe it was like the majority of a deck of those plastic cards. Did you see that, Alan?
Yeah, he had done. I know he had done that quite some time back. I don't know if he's reattempted it. But he found he bought a deck of those Hoyle. They're like the kind of cards you could play in like a swimming pool all day, right? They're like laminated, they're kind of funky looking, and and it sounded like he went to war on them. It was a partial deck, but not to belittle the feat. You know, I think it was something like maybe 10 or 15 cards, but that was.
I think I might have seen like 40. I think I might have seen like 40 on there.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
I hope
partial
deck. Yeah.
But
it was a partial deck, but
it's like
sorry,
2 decks of cards.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hell of a feat.
Dude, and like I'll tell you, I don't know if I put it in the card tearing ebook when I put it out, but at one time I labeled those impossible to ever bend. So if you can do a partial deck, and I think it said he took like 4 or 5 hours to do it, but if you can do a partial deck, I'm sure that means it's possible to get the full deck, especially if it was around the 40 card mark. So it's when I saw that, I think it was Josh Hensey that shared that or made a comment or something like that, and then he tagged me on the post on Facebook where Sean shared the picture, and I couldn't even believe it. It was because, like I said, I thought it would be impossible to do it because I have tried. So, yeah, very, very impressive.
Yeah, I was tempted to try something like that myself, but I'm a little partial to the cheap decks just because they're affordable. You know, you can get a pack of those Mavericks for like 88 cents, and those waterproof Hoyles are like $5 or $6.
Yeah,
you know, so
it's true.
It's that's one of the downsides to some of that. But no, that was impressive. Sean's come a long way. He's doing a lot of stuff with those cards. I think he did one of those donut hole notches, and where he kind of cut a hole out of the center. So yeah, he's doing some nice work with those.
Yep, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Yep. Hey, on the subject of cards, did you catch Tim Butler's card tear? He had half of it in his mouth and ripped it.
Yes, I did. That was pretty cool. The only person I remember seeing doing that before is Steve McGranahan back in the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say he might be a candidate for bending steel in his mouth for David Horn's challenge. I might want to give it a shot. He seems to have the teeth for it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. You never know what you're going to see on his Instagram, man. I saw he snatched like a 40 or a 45 pound York dumbbell, like inverted dumbbell. Now, I'm not talking about a half 40 block weight. I'm talking about the whole stinking dumbbell he snatched by the end, inverted position.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's got to be tough to control,
impressive.
Because you got to. You're doing it. What did you say? A 40 or a 45?
I think it was a 40, it was one of them. I'm pretty sure it was a 40, but it might have been a 45.
Yeah, once you whip that up in the air, I would think it'd get rather unwieldy, because all of a sudden you got all that weight on top. You want to tear right out.
Yeah, sure.
Hand, so that's impressive stuff. Yeah, I've seen him working a lot with his strength shop. I don't know. It's one of those mid-size inch bells. I think it's in the 150-pound region or something like that. He's been doing a lot with that lately too. So.
Yeah, he had like a nice thumbless lift and hold very recently with that strength shop bell.
Yep. So a lot of good work out of him.
Yeah. One more. This is from February, man. I thought this was very, very impressive. Now, I don't know. I guess it's almost like an inverted kettlebell lift. Okay, so an inverted kettlebell lift is like a bottoms up kettlebell lift. That's where you hold the handle and then the mass of the kettlebell itself is above your hand.
Yeah. Yep.
And people like we've seen Nick Rosendahl a lot of times pressing the kettlebell in that bottoms up fashion, right?
It's actually a lot of fun doing that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Cool little challenge. Very good. And it's it's a nice way to get some grip training out of a kettlebell workout because you got to stabilize it there. Now, I saw this guy. I'm gonna totally butcher this name, but it's it's on Instagram. It's Vino Curve Yori. Vino Curve Yori. VinoKurvyury, and he took a 24-kilo kettlebell, and he, if you can imagine, in the inverted position, and then he kind of like did an eccentric, curled it away, and then held it, I would estimate, at an angle that was about 60 degrees. So the normal inverted kettlebell position would be 90. He rotated it, he lowered it away from his body roughly 30 degrees and then held it for a good amount of time. And so there's a lot of grip engagement there and tremendous crushing aspect that you're disallowing the kettlebell, the gravity, to pull it outside of the gripping contact area and then not allow it to snap down over your hand. Can you envision what I'm describing there?
I know exactly what you're talking. Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's 53 pounds, 24 kilos, I believe. So, I mean, even if it was just 50, I mean, even if it was 24 pounds, that I was very impressed with that, because first off, I don't think I'd be able to do it. Second, I've never seen anybody even try to do that. Anytime the kettlebell wavers away from the perfectly perpendicular position, it's like it just snaps out of the person's hand. So the dude must, I don't know the guy, like what other feats he's done or anything like that, but he must have some tremendous crushing strength, I would imagine, or supporting strength in order to be able to do that. Very impressive.
Well, yeah, but then all the musculature he must have on the top of the forearm and on the extensor side to be able to hold it like that, because that would have easily wanted to be rolling down. You know,
yeah.
He would have been he'd have been firing both sides at the same time. That's impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that. That's a solid feat. Yeah. I was expecting to mention one. I don't know if it was like a Juha Letomaki or somebody not too long ago did a bottoms up kettlebell press. It looked pretty heavy, but then he had another kettlebell set on top of it. And that was like it was a ridiculous amount of weight, but the stability, you know, the wrist stability and that strength to accomplish that was just top notch. So
right,
yeah, I like a lot of those
cool
kettlebell feats we see once in a while.
Yeah. I've got some other feats here, man, but it seems like I don't know if I've just read them multiple times or if I've actually covered them before here. So I don't know. I don't want to waste everybody's time. Alan, do you remember if we talked about Aaron Corcoran doing like a walk with the Man Enough?
Oh, you know, why do I don't remember if we covered that or not. I think I might have just seen that on the grip board.
Yeah. He picked it up, like he like prepared himself mentally. I don't think he dropped any F-bombs to get a little extra strength or anything like that, but it was like it was like playing wolf or something. Like he acted like he was getting all revved up for it mentally, writ down really cautious, put his hand on there, and then picked it up and just walked away with it like an asshole.
See, I didn't get to catch the video. I just saw the thing about it, but he didn't strike me as the type to get all. He just seemed more or less the kind of guy that just walk up to something and pick it up. He was like really getting all like John McCarter kind of jazzed up, or what?
No, not at all. Just no. He was being very Aaron, very very calm about it, like a very calm psych up. Okay.
Sure, that's what I would have expected. Yeah.
Yes. Very contained. But he acted like he was a little bit nervous or trepidatious, or doubting the fact that he would actually pick it up, and then made just like not short work, but the shortest work of it that I've seen made of it. Very impressive.
Wow. Yeah. I don't even know if I took a track at that when I was out at Nate Rouse's place. I don't think I did. I think the edges were fairly sharp, and I might have had some initial concern right away, not to mention that I probably wouldn't have. I was confident I wouldn't have lifted it. But I think it wasn't worth trying to shred my hand over something that probably wasn't going to happen anyway. So.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. The edges are very sharp, and it can be it almost can depend on what you've been doing for a while. It seems like sometimes when I feel that sharpness, I'm like, yep, who cares? Just hit it anyway. And then other times, like once I feel it, it's like there's no way I want to even try to do this. Like it's sometimes more intense and gets to the point where I doubt that I can do it. Plus, I don't want to because for the reason you said, why set yourself back 3 weeks of training potentially because of a tear just from one attempt, because that kind of stuff does happen. You try to lift something like maybe a really sharp set of plates, maybe like a 510s or a 245s, and they're really sharp, and it lays you right open, and that's the only attempt you get all day, and plus you're not able to do anything for a couple weeks. So yeah, there's definitely some concern there sometimes.
Mhm.
Well, cool. So there's a few that I had to talk about. What are some of the things that you've seen, Alan?
Well, we've got a new women's Ironmind Apollon's Axle world record.
Oh, really?
This lady, this is a really tough name to pronounce, and I'm reading it left-handed penmanship here, but I'd go with Ludmila Gaidachenko. She just pulled 132 kilos on the Apollon's axle. So,
okay.
And that's a kilogram beyond what Amy Waddles had pulled. So
really,
there's a very solid axle pull. More from Ironmind too. The fellow named James Reese Larkins just certified the red nail. So one more person to add to the roster there. So congratulations to him. Mm-hmm. That name's fairly familiar to me, but I can't quite place it. But it seems like that's come up before.
Say it one more time, Alan.
James Reese Larkins. I don't know where I know that.
Man, I don't know. How do you spell Reef? R-E-I-F?
Reese. It's R-E-E-S-E.
Oh, Reese.
Yeah, I got a bit of a cold right now on top of everything else. So yeah, when it rains, it pours for me.
It's not enough that you had to get surgery on your shoulder. Yeah.
Yep. So.
Well, I just did a quick Google on him, a quick grip Google, and I see that, yeah, the red nail certified, but I'm not seeing much else.
Yeah, I could just be misremembering too. So.
Yeah, who knows? Well, he might have been on there for something else. He might have been, being that it was bending. I mean, where is this gentleman from? Do we know what country?
Let me see if I can bring that back up here. I don't know that I recall. I just went to Google actually that 14.8 thing you were mentioning, and I lost sight of it here. Let me see what I can find.
I've got it right here. The article. It says that Steve Bellinger was the referee, so that kind of leads me to believe he's from the USA.
Let's see. Orange County, California.
Uh-huh. Oh, there it is. Yep. It is in the second paragraph, which I conveniently skipped right over. So
27 years old, so yeah, a lot of future for this guy. So,
mm-hmm.
Yep. Ooh, 170 pounds too. So, not a huge guy by any means. So,
no, it looks like he's got that leverage, got that magic leverage for bending, though, dude.
Yep.
Tall and lanky.
Mhm. So,
I wonder if he's a kettlebell guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That name, that just sounds so familiar to me. I don't know where I've heard that from him, but I know it's come up. So
right.
Maybe
cool.
Somebody can chime in and fill us in. So
yeah.
All right. Well, on the subject of me for the Feet of the Week candidates, early on we saw Marco Bull do a 220 kilograms pinch. And sounded like he was the first fellow in his area to accomplish that feat. But then Gil Goodman came along and I think stole the show with his 410 kilos pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Did you catch that one on Instagram?
Yes, I did, and it looked very easy with each hand. Like he smoked it pretty simple. Yeah.
Yep. There was no challenge there at all. So I didn't know that was something he was working on. So he's
right.
Yeah, and it's a similar weight between the feet, but I'd give Gil's the nod just because it's a little wider. So
yeah,
Yep. but solid work. I would say onto the 225 kilos pinch if he hasn't gone after it already. That'd be a good one for Gil to take on. So he's been on quite a tear, Blobzilla and now this. So definitely humming along.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't catch exactly what you said. Marco Bull did 220s in each hand. Is that what you said?
220 kilos. I just one hand. What I saw.
Oh, okay. And you said that he was the first one in his group or something?
No, in what area is he from?
I think he's from Germany.
Germany? It sounded like that.
Yeah.
That's what he indicated was the first one from Germany.
Oh, okay. I see. Cool. Then a little bit more back to Aaron Corcoran. He lifted the 410s very easily back in 2015 when I was out there and competed with him. After the contest, he hit that really easy, as long as I remember correctly. Yeah, really easy. And that was a day where when I put my hand on those things, they felt so stinking sharp that there's no way I could do it. I don't know if it was like the cumulative, all the work that I had done up to that point on my thumb, or if it was the training that I had done prior to that. I know that it seems like I remember that there was either a contest right before that or after that year. So it may have been preparing for King Kong. That my thumb might have just been, the skin might have just been beat up or something like that. But it's funny, we were talking about that earlier with the Man Enough, and I recall that same thing with the 410s out to Aaron's, and I was not able to do that. It wasn't even close as far as I recall. There's just no way.
Well, yeah, between the sharpness and the slickness of them, they use a pretty polished paint on those things. So it's not an easy task. I'd actually be kind of anxious to try that Viking chalk that Barrel Strength is pushing these days. I'd never even heard of that until I saw his post. So
I think that's the. What have you been using?
I've been using Friction Labs chalk.
Yeah,
something I picked up just a while back. Prior to that, I was always just using the cheap stuff that you get at any sporting goods store.
So, yeah. Right.
Be worth a shot.
That's the company that put on the Hold for Time challenge at the Arnold this year.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I think we touched on that maybe a couple weeks ago at the end of a call, but yeah, there seem to be some kind of new company that's out in the strength areas. Maybe a kettlebell style company or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I hadn't done. I followed them on Instagram after that, but yeah, a lot of it was Gil's pictures actually that I'd seen on their face or on their page initially. So, but yeah, looking forward to seeing some more.
Cool.
Oh,
any other big feats that you've seen come down the pike, Alan?
Becca Roberts has been just no set smash and number 2 grippers like they've been going on a style, but seems to be well on her way to a cert for the 2, if not the 2.5. So she has definitely sitting on some real horsepower when she just reps them out all day like she does. That's some quality work. So whatever her training secret's been, she's definitely onto something. Yep. But no, I think those are some of the bigger feats I've seen recently. I guess I don't know that I'd seen much from some of our other usual guys. I know I caught James Rodriguez and Jason Otto. They were doing some baby inch holds on their quest to training for the inch dumbbell lift. Ricardo had been smashing some good stuff. I know one time he'd remarked that I think Ode had indicated that Ricardo had, I think, taken an attempt at the inch dumbbell before or something like that, and he felt that it was his wrist strength that was kind of what was holding him back. And, between his Rolling Thunder numbers and what I've seen recently on his wrist wrench, pulls, when he pulls on that, his wrist doesn't go into extension at all. He's able to hold it quite neutral. So I think his strength is moving right along, and he's got a real shot at it next time he takes a crack. So
that's cool.
He's definitely on the right track. So yeah, those are the main things that I've been seeing lately, anyway.
Yeah, I plan on throwing the inch dumbbell in the car so that Ricardo can give that thing a try. I'd like to see if he can pull my inch off the ground.
Yeah,
I think it's a good one. Have you followed? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just a congratulations to David Mitty. He recently got the baby inch up off the ground. I didn't catch if he had the official lockout or if it was darn near a lockout, but I know for years I've been following him on the grip board, and that was something he'd been working on. And if it isn't there already for him, it is a mere weeks away at this point. So good work to him. He set a goal, and it looks like it's right on the horizon for him if it hasn't in fact happened already. I don't know if you caught that at all or not on Facebook, but yep, something he'd been working on. So good work to him.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that. That's good to hear. I know that he's been involved in a long time, even though he hasn't been to a lot of competitions or anything. He's been involved in grip training for years. I'd say probably close to 10 years that he's been in it.
Yeah. Isn't it funny too? It's one of those things that just seems like it takes that amount of time to build some of the stuff to do those lifts. People don't get a good appreciation for that. It's 135 pounds. What's the problem? Well, give it a shot. Just like lifting the blob or something like that.
No doubt.
Yep. But so. Oh, one other. Go ahead.
Well, I was wondering if you had followed Josh Hensey's thing that he's been putting on, the April Rolls.
The April Rolls, yes, I had seen that, and I was actually hoping that we would have gotten to that a little sooner, unfortunately, to maybe increase his participation. I'm not sure how many people have gotten involved. I think you and Luke did. I know Josh did. I think Andrew Dube did. I'm not sure who else has all been out there, actually, at this point. But I like the idea that he put the challenge on. Putting a trophy together, that was good for him. I thought good promotion for the sport, and he's a hell of a guy. So that was a nice thing. I unfortunately wasn't able to participate because that project set sail right when my surgery did, so I never even got to give it a chance. But looked like a lot of fun. So
yeah, it was cool. I had seen it a couple times on Instagram slide past through my feed. And then Luke made the wrist roller thing for nationals and brought it down, and we tried, just one attempt at the April Rolls per the rules, which I don't remember all the specifics as far as the height or the length that you had to pull the cord, or the weight or anything. I don't really remember anything except for that it was a 2-inch bar or pipe or
I believe it was
roller.
39.5 inches and 120 pounds.
Okay.
Was the amount.
Cool.
So and what it was rolling it up and then basically, it was up both ways. Pronated, flex and extension per time. So, and we were seeing some fairly impressive times on that too. I think guys were in below the 30-second range, weren't they?
Oh yeah. I think.
They were smoking.
I think Luke
had a pretty hot one.
Yeah, dude, he was under. I think he was like 18 seconds or something like that. But he always, like mine was like maybe 28 or something like that, and I was happy with that because I haven't done anything like that since nationals. I think 2 years ago, or maybe longer. I don't even know when it was, but then he did it in like 18 seconds or something like that. It was sick, but I don't know why it surprises me because he always murders me in the wrist roller anyway. Like both years that we've had to do that at Derniat's, he was under like 10 seconds or something. He might have like come in like second one year. So he's just able to get a bite on it, man. For me that like we did the forwards first, so like the flexion action we did first, and then we just let it fall back down, and then we gathered it back up and did the extension. For me, the flexion took like easily double the time to do it, and it just felt like I wasn't able to grip onto the handle at all, onto the roller. But he was like, no problem whatsoever, just destroyed it.
Yeah, extension always seems easier for me on that. Mm-hmm. Like I can get almost more weight and faster when I've been doing one-handed wrist roller stuff where I just kind of crank my arm and I can pop it off the ground and do like these partial reps,
Oh,
one of
sure,
my
yeah.
few ways of grip training right now at the moment. So
That's a good idea, though. That's a real good idea.
It's I don't know what the carryover in the long term will be, but it eases my mind a little bit. I'm doing something, so
yeah.
It makes me feel kind of good.
Alan, what pops into my head there is something that you could try is some of these arm wrestling tools that they have out here, like because that's what they do a lot of times is they're not doing. They're not turning a wrist roller. It's just like an attachment that goes onto a cable machine, and then they're just, crank, flexion, deviation for each one of these handles. And, that's something that you could probably do and get a lot of variation out of just one-handed work.
Yeah, I was looking through, actually, it was Cody Burns' post in the when he was in the grip well not that long ago, and he was talking about how he actually does a fair amount of wrist roller work and even thick bar like deviations with Iron Mind's heavy hammer. And because I've been reduced to those sort of things, that's actually what a lot of my stuff has been right now. A lot of the deviation type work, wrist roller, I can do all kinds of, like fat grip arm curls and things like that. A lot of stuff with the wrist wrench. I just can't lift real heavy or anything at the moment. So,
right.
But yeah, that's, something's better than nothing. So we'll see what it leaves me in the end. But, it's fun, trying new things, doing things I hadn't done. So it's bound to bring growth somewhere, but we'll see. So.
Cool.
Yep.
That's good, man. That's good that you've found at least a handful of things. A handful of things that you can try. I just activated the This Week in Grip search, and I'm looking at some stuff here. I see Andrew Dube with a number 3 close and a nice smooth open on a 148 number 3. I see.
Yes,
Brian's,
that was solid. He hit a nice wide set on that, and a solid overcross. That was a good gripper close. It looked like he was going to submit that for MM0. So hopefully he gets it.
Great.
Look legit.
Yeah. There's the what is this, like 600 pounds or something, right? 660, about 660 from Brian Hunsacker on the Hex bar, the Hex deadlift bar.
Yeah, I don't think he can lift less than 600 pounds, it seems like. He's always pulling some ridiculous number.
Yeah. He's got some great weather out there. I'm jealous of the weather, man. He's out there in shorts. He's out there in a T-shirt. I'm walking around here with a long sleeve and jeans on still, man. Shivering. We're just shivering right now.
I tell you, in the last week and a half, we've got hit with over a foot of snow where I am at. So it's
Oh, really?
Oh, it's been terrible. School's been extended for the kids again and everything. We've had a lot of snow days this year, but it just dumps on us. Just comes out of nowhere. Yep.
Yeah, dude.
So,
wow.
Luckily for me, I'm decommissioned, so I've just been able to watch people shoveling and snow blowing. So that's nice. Not participating.
Yep. That's cool.
Yep.
I see Luke got into the action, threw up his grip rush with like 80 pounds on the pinch block. I'm lucky to hit it for a single.
Huge.
Yeah,
that's a big number.
Yeah.
That's no screwing around. Yeah, I'm curious what his top end is on that, because that's some solid work. Did you catch that? Did it look like he was maybe getting like some tear action going on? Because I saw him kept checking his thumb almost. I kind of considered that a pretty safe device.
Yeah, I stood right there while he was doing it, but I haven't watched the video. I don't remember him saying anything about a tear, so maybe it was just getting hot or something like that, because that was at the end of that block of training that day. So
sure. No, that's a monster pincher.
Yeah, that's come along really, really well for him, and of course he can chalk the thing better than anybody I've ever seen. It's just. I know I say it all the time. Yeah, I know I say it all the time, but I mean, he can not even put new chalk on his hand. Like there'll be where I need to put my thumb and it'll be totally black. You see no chalk there, maybe a couple specks of chalk and then black paint. And he'll come over without putting any more chalk on his hand and just rub it with his palm where there was chalk, and when he's done, there's chalk on it.
Yeah.
So it's like the chalk comes off of the region that doesn't need chalk and slides over, and he's able to just kind of knit it, almost crochet it into place with the chalk on the very edge of the pinch block. It's insane.
Yeah, I was admiring the chalk level on that thing. That was that was impressive. Mine does not look like that. So
yeah.
I even went so far as like I set mine on the ground, right? And I took a big handful of powdered chalk and kind of dropped it on it and sort of really, really ground it in. And then I picked it up, and I'd swear it just slid off, and I just had
it fell off, right?
Again. Yeah, yeah.
You picked it up and it was blacker than it was before.
Yeah, that's about right. Yep. I don't know, the chemistry these guys have, Luke Raymonds and John McCarter's, but they've got the magic, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep. Yeah.
It's true. We can't stop them. We can only hope to contain them.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, so we got to give a quick shout out to the Andrades, our newlyweds out there, Chris and Amber.
Oh yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I love those guys, man.
Yep.
Congratulations.
He was looking slim and trim. I loved her dress, so it looked like they had a great day. So they look good together.
Good, awesome. That's fantastic. I saw the pictures come across and it looked like it was a good time.
Yep. Nice. Now, where are they from? They live near you?
Connecticut. No, they're way up in Connecticut. So that's probably at least a 4-hour drive for me.
Ah, okay.
Now some people could probably make it a lot quicker, but I'm afraid to really drive that fast.
Sure.
John Eaton could probably make that drive in about 2 hours. So I just don't like speeding. I don't like speeding, and I don't like being awake in the same car with John Eaton.
I think you'd mentioned a story about him before. I can't remember what it was. Didn't you guys like travel in like some snowstorm or something like that?
Oh gosh.
Maybe, I don't know. Am I misremembering, or was that a thing?
No, you're remembering. No, it's the day I almost had a heart attack in 2006. I think 2007 maybe. We're going to Gripmus, which is in Crooksville, Ohio, and we went by way of New York, I believe 86, which is a highway that goes right across the bottom of New York. All right, but it's a long highway, so it's kind of like Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania. Sometimes when I travel places on 80, I go like 180 to 200 miles on the same road. Okay, and 86 is very, very similar. So I drove up to John's house. He lives in Cuyler, New York, and then it was a short drive to get to 86. We drove all the way across New York. He was breaking speed records. I was like clenching the glove compartment, the handle on the door. I had a pillow in my hand. I was hugging it for dear life. And in the whole while that he's driving, he's giving me like a hand massage. So he's driving this one-handed and like squeezing like blood and innards out of my thumbs, squeezing it so hard. But by the end of the car ride, my thumbs felt great, but my hands were wasted anyway because I was squeezing everything that I could hold on to so hard because I was so afraid. And I believe it may have actually been in Ohio at some point in the middle of a snowstorm where there was ice all over the highway in patches, and he goes around a tractor trailer at top speed, and as we're passing the tractor trailer, dude, a deer runs across the highway. We had no hope of stopping. If the timing was any different whatsoever, we would have hit the deer. Just like an instant later, we would have hit the deer. There was no stopping. He never touched the brakes. There was no choice to touch the brakes, because if we had a truck behind us. So we were passing a truck with a truck behind us. The deer ran out in front of us. We saw like just the flash of the deer, and we were just like speechless for maybe for like 2 miles, which as fast as he was going was only about 4 seconds. But
sure.
it seemed like a lifetime.
Huh. That's funny.
Yeah,
That
it's
has
real funny.
the presence of mind not to even tweak the steering wheel a little bit. Boy, that's good for him.
I think I heard his heart like skip a beat, and if I remember correctly, we were in his wife's car. I think we may have been in his wife's car, so that would have been a great present to bring back home to the wifey on the way back.
Yeah. Wow. That's
very
awesome.
Scary. Very scary. Then the one time, dude, we went to Don Larkin's place in Michigan for a contest that Bob Lipinski was running, and I distinctly remember after the contest eating a plum that was on the table that just didn't taste like a plum. It was very mushy, and I'd never tasted a plum that tasted like that. So we went to bed that night in the hotel. We got up real early in the morning. Eaton starts just riding the airwaves on his car, just going so fast, and I start to get so sick. I'm like, John, you got to pull over to the rest stop. I'm going to be sick. So I go into the rest stop, and I'm in there for maybe 5 minutes. He comes in, he's like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm fine. I don't know what came over me. I just didn't feel well. So I was in the stall, and I stood up, walked out, and I was like, uh-oh. And I went right back into the stall, tried to get to the toilet, and I couldn't. And I just decorated the whole entire stall, man. I felt so bad. I puked all over the wall, all over the side of the stall. I couldn't make it to the toilet. It was just like projectile vomiting coming out of me. And I just think it was that plum. There was something wrong with that plum, man. And it just came back up. I felt horrible for what I had done. So I tried to like clean the wall a little bit with like toilet paper, like big masses of toilet paper, and threw it away. But I mean, I couldn't get it all. And I went out, and sure enough, there's a cleaning lady out in the hallway, and she was like Latina. So I had to speak to her in Spanish and apologize to her for making such a mess of the bathroom. I felt so bad, but I was sick. I mean, I was in there waiting for like 5 minutes and nothing happened. I turn around, have to come back in just like that. It just came up. So,
wow.
Man, yeah, dude. No, there's been a few really crazy stories with John Eaton in the car on the way back. And I'm not lying about his hand massage either. He would like squeeze your hand massage. I think for a while Nick Rosendahl had something in his signature on the grip board. I roomed with John Eaton and lived to tell the tale or something like that. And what that is John was on one of the trips, John was giving everybody a hand massage, and just, oh my gosh. It was one of the ones, I think it was a backyard bastard bash at John Beatty's place back in the day. And this was one of the ones where it was already like an 8-hour contest, and then we stayed up all through the night doing feet on top of feet on top of feet. And when you get back, your hands just feel like they're going to fall off. And he was just going around doing hand massages for everybody. It was crazy. But it, like, when your hands are sore and then he comes over and digs like his end digit into your thumb, it's like a nightmare. But the next day, like, it speeds the recovery up so nicely to get everything broken up in there. It's pretty impressive. If you ever see like Nick Rosendahl or if you ever meet Ben Edwards, you got to ask him about a John Eaton hand massage.
Interesting. That's funny. Huh.
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Yep.
I know. Actually, I use a golf ball and kind of lay that on the ground and grind my hand around into that. That seems to work pretty good. But
it's the same exact concept. Yeah, it's the same exact concept, only you have no control over what's happening to your thumb whatsoever.
Sure. Now, and this is something he likes to do, or what is this? Is that his career? Is he like a massage therapist or something? Or?
Oh no. He's a police officer in his small town there. No. I think he just knows the idea of hand massage. He knows the idea of like trigger point therapy, and he's making educated guesses that maybe this is how you do it, by squeezing as hard as you possibly can on someone's thenar eminence. So Yeah.
Sure. Huh. Well,
Maybe you
nice
should
that
treat
have it
yourself
after
to
the
a John Eaton hand massage sometime, dude. Maybe you'd like it.
Yeah. Sounds interesting.
Cool. I'm looking at more feats here, dude. Dali Zhang is up here with a pretty cool farmer's walk on some 3-inch Rogue Fitness bars. Have you seen that one? It's like a 3-inch centerpiece of the bar.
Let me see if I caught that.
It's right at the top. It's right in the top 9 hits for This Week in Grip. Like forever, it was like a Andrew Durniat video and stuff like that. But now it's more newer stuff. And Dali's up there twice, man. Also knocked out some Rolling Thunder.
Let's see.
That California constituent's actually really getting a lot of presence up there, not only with the This Week in Grip hashtag, but just the grip training presence. Those 3 guys, like I'm including Clay edging into that, Dali Zhang and Ricardo, and there's another guy, Medved Fred, that's up there a lot of times. All those guys get a lot of posts up with the This Week in Grip hashtag.
And Brian Hunsack, there's a lot from James Rodriguez. Oh, there was I wonder if this is the guy here. Oh yeah, Hans Gruber. Do you follow him at all?
Yes, he's changed his name a couple times. So his name is Nigel Blackburn. His real name is Nigel Blackburn.
Okay.
Yeah, he's working on a double bodyweight axle lift.
Yes, that's
double
what
overhand.
I was going to bring that up. I think that's got to be just about there for him. So
he's really close. So
yeah.
he weighs 148.6. He did 277. Didn't quite lock the last one out, but he's real close. That was just about a triple on that weight. And man, he's a monster, dude. I'm actually working with him in a coaching scenario. We talk every 2 weeks. I give him training updates to his program every week, and he's just exploding. I mean, grippers is going up, his axle, everything. He's starting to come into his own on his technique with the 2-hand pinch.
Yeah,
he's looking good. He's really looking good.
He's pulling over body weight on a 2-hand pinch right now on a fairly new looking Euro even.
Yeah, he just got it. He just got it at the end of last year.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not seasoned by any means, but this guy certainly has the gear for it. You see the guns on this dude?
Oh, dude, he's ripped.
Yeah,
he was. Yep. I'm not saying he was soft, okay, but he was softer, okay. And then he did like an 8-week modification to his diet where I don't know if it was 0 carbs, but it was very, very low carb. And he just, like that, boom. It seemed like he just overnight got super, super ripped. But young guy, I think he works at the gym, and he full-time student. So he's making it happen, dude, with some time limitations.
Yeah.
No excuses.
You see his deadlift form?
Dude, he's
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's considering it's staying that clean on an axle. Normally when the grip's the limiting factor and you start pulling, all kinds of crazy shit starts happening with your back. Like you start rounding a little bit and doing funny stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird, but your whole body breaks down when your grip starts to let up. And and he's really that is some pretty form. That's like Rick Walker kind of deadlift form there. That looks really nice. Yep.
Yeah. Agreed.
Cool.
Patrick Mazel's continuing with the serious sledgehammer work. I think week in, week out. Yeah, dude. Hey.
Yep.
If you don't have a strong wrist, it's eventually that's going to buckle when you need it the most. So I think he's using that as a way to create like an ultra strong foundation for the rest of his grip work.
Well, I like that Mace style floor slam action he was doing with the double sledge setup. That looked pretty sweet, actually. I don't know if you caught that, where he kind of swung it around and slammed it down onto the matting.
Man, it seems like I saw it. I can't definitely say I did, but it seems familiar.
Yeah, that was that's pretty cool seeing some of that stuff. But what other ones?
Yeah, he's got a bunch of them up here, dude. Have you seen that pinch block that? Go ahead, Alan. I'm sorry. Walked all over you.
No, I was just gonna say most of what I see out of Pat Mays is the double sledge levering. So
yeah,
he's definitely been hitting that hard. So
yeah. Here's kind of a new guy that I don't recognize. His Instagram name is. This is what it looks like, dude. Of Luger_Sunsker Bjorn. I don't know if that's if that's anywhere near what it is, but he's showing up here. He's got this massive beard, long, lanky dude, a big long beard, doing looks like a coin lift or stub lift. The dude is a stub life champion. It looks like he's doing some kind of hold here. I don't know if you see that on your feed or not, but it's Ufluger Sansker Bjorn. That's what it looks like.
Let's try to bring that up. Wait, was it with our hashtag?
Yeah. This Week in Grip. Yeah.
Oh, weird.
I don't know if he recently maybe changed his name, so he's got a different name on there, and I don't recognize him because of that. But I don't recognize his face either. So with lifting in camo pants, he is.
Things loading kind of slow.
What'd you do? Install Frontier out there? Frontier Internet Service out your way? A little slow out there.
Right now, I've got like the phone kind of propped on my right shoulder and leaning against my ear, and I'm actually looking at my work phone with my working left hand. So things are kind of. This is like really, really awkward.
Right. Listen to the dedication from Alan here. One armed, double handing it, or double phoning it, we should say, making it happen. Dedication, dude. To heck with using a laptop or a desktop computer. We're going to use two phones here. We're going to make it as hard as we possibly can, and this will some way probably turn out to be like a grip coordination workout for him that carries over into his recovery period when he's getting back into it. Got to do what you got to do, man.
That's funny. I'm actually hoping some of the increased dexterity I have gained through all of this will help, because I'm doing like all my writing left-handed and stuff, and that seems to be improving. But not to get sidetracked, but with my injury, and this is something that could apply to other people, but it would pay for everybody to do a little something with their offhand once in a while that they're used to doing with just their right hand, like brushing your teeth. Any routine task wouldn't be a bad idea to just throw that into your daily life here and there, because you never know when you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're suddenly not able to use something you've been using for, like, say, 41 years. Like, yeah. Just that's simple things. Maybe try putting your socks on. Anything you take for granted. It's weird, but it's been an eye-opening experience for me. Things I thought would be hard or easy, things I thought would be easy are just impossible. So,
you know what else I thought about doing, Alan, along those lines is, like, every once in a while, like digging a hole out in the yard and peeing in it and making my own still, so that I know that if the real shit goes down, I can survive,
That's not a bad idea.
Every once in a while. Or just if you just be extreme and just drink your own urine and, get tougher, Yeah.
Yep. Not a bad, just straight creek water, something like that.
Yeah.
Build yourself up to some of the parasites and stuff out there.
Some Giardia. Giardia is my middle name.
Yep. What do they call that? That's beaver fever, right? Is that what that is? I think that's the nickname for it.
Well, when I was growing up, beaver fever meant something else, Alan, but we don't need to go into any detail on that. What else, Alan? What else you got for us, dude? I know you're sitting on some gems.
Just trying to bring something else up. Well, while I'm scrolling, I'll do a quick review. So a while back, the subject of Jason Gillen's upcoming competition came up. And,
Correction. What you may not know, Alan, is it's Gillen. It's actually Gillen.
I apologize.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Jason Gillen. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So we had mentioned his upcoming competition, and I commented about the Jason Gillen's Power Gym pinch block, his universal pinch block, something that was kind of on my wish list. And what he did was he sent me one free of charge.
Ooh!
And,
wow!
I've had a chance to look it over and play with it, and I just wanted to mention a few things about it real quick. So,
okay.
For anybody that isn't familiar with it, if you go on Facebook, you can go on Jason Gillen's Power Gym Facebook page. Go ahead and hit like right away. You scroll down just a little bit, and you'll see a post where he actually shared to his Facebook page from the Northwest Grip Enthusiast Group a picture of his universal pinch block. Now, what this pinch block is, it's a 2-inch pinch block with a hub incorporated into it. So it's a 2-in-1 type of pinch device. So the overall dimensions, it uses a hub that's 4 inches in diameter and 1 1/4 inch deep. Mm-hmm. And the pinch surface itself is 2-inch by 4 5/8 inches wide. The thing weighs approximately 3 pounds, and it utilizes like a captive clip type system for attaching your carabiner to. So in one position where you'd pinch, the hub would be on the underside, and if you flipped it around and grab from the hub, a small ring drops down, and that gives you something to clip a carabiner onto from the pinch side.
Cool.
So it's a very well thought out design. He uses a black paint on it that chalk does just not like to stick to. This would be like your dad's expression, Jed, with the slicker than grease goose shit, I guess. It's I tell you, I put chalk on my hands, and that was a mistake. It's like I couldn't even barely lift the thing empty. You know, you clean it off, and all of a sudden you're pulling some weight. Yeah, it was kind of weird like that, but a very neat design. Where I thought this thing would really shine is this would be good for a type of person that's, because it weighs, mine weighed in at exactly 2 pounds, 15 ounces. So this is something that could easily fit in a guy's gym bag, something somebody wants to go on vacation. For a guy like Jim Stepani, for example, who does his little challenges when he's out and about, fits the bill perfect for that. Maybe for a guy that's looking to get into some grip training, isn't quite sure what he wants to get. This is kind of a 2-for-1 sort of deal. It's fairly budget friendly, $50 for a 2-in-1 piece of grip equipment. That's not unreasonable by any means. A little bit of shipping. It's a great concept and a good little implement. I think people could make good use of it. The hub size, it kind of falls in between, like the Iron Mine hub, and then what we see on some of the wider hubs on what Brian Shaw had recently hubbed on not too long ago. So it's a different size, gives you a little bit of break from some of the monotony that we see on some of the other ones. So, and the 2-inch pinching surface is a fairly standard width that people would generally be pinching at on things like the Euro. So it's a good general type of pinch device. So
that's pretty
if anybody's
cool.
Interested, it'd definitely be worth checking out.
Sweet, man. That's a great review.
Yep, I like it. I intend to keep playing with it here and there. It's always good, little variety. And yep, nice piece. You did a good job on it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for doing that, Alan, and I'm sure he appreciates it as well. And I appreciate Jason sending that to you to get it into our hands, and hopefully it's a little exposure for it that helps him out as well. So, and good luck to him with that contest that's coming up. And I forget the date, man. When's that contest? Is that in June?
Let me try to bring that back up. I think it was June. Let me try to get that on the page here.
He had a cool little promo too, Alan. While you're finding that, he actually enlisted the help of Bill Kazmaier for a little promo to do for that contest. It's pretty sweet. He talked about the competition, and then Bill talked about all the benefits that you get out of grip training and the types of work that you can do. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yep, the contest is June 16th. 1 p.m. at Galloway's Sports and Fitness Center.
Cool. It'd be good to get him some support. It takes time to run a competition. It takes a little sacrifice for sure. And, most people are doing it for the love of it. And, they're just pumped about the sport. So it's good to get out there and support these promoters. And I know I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at the Nationals competition, and always looking forward to see that area of the Northwest grow and explode. I think it's right on the cusp of doing so. There's a lot of people out there that are excited about running contests, and hopefully it continues to grow and get even more exciting.
Well, here's one other one I wanted to mention too, and I'm not sure where he's at with it, but Todd Beecraft, back mid-April, he put the feelers out in the Northwest Grip Enthusiast group about an upcoming event. I think he was looking to see who might be interested in determining if he was going to run the contest or not. But here's his post. It says, I'm curious who on here is interested in competing in the Celebrity Car Deadlift Hold for Time event. Okay, now so that just sounds awesome in itself. A car deadlift hold for time. Come on.
Right.
So
yeah.
And it says, I've only got response from one person saying they're interested in doing it, so I'm trying to decide if it's worth my time and money to host.
Yeah.
It says he needs at least 2 heavyweight men and 2 lightweight men to make this event worth doing. Right now he has 1 heavyweight. So anybody that's not aware of that and is listening to the show, I would recommend getting in on that, because that just I've never done a car deadlift, and I have no idea what kind of weight we're talking here, and I can't imagine what kind of time I would put up, but that sure sounds like fun. You ever done a car deadlift, Jed?
Well, I have. So I don't know if you're real familiar with strongman equipment, Alan, but there is a piece of equipment that's called a Viking press, and what this is instead of having weight on a barbell or a log that you would press overhead, there is weight hanging off of it is a bar, but it's like a 4-inch bar, and you're basically pressing the end of a gigantic lever. And it's kind of like if you could think of doing the half-kneeling landmine press.
Landmine press, yep.
Okay. So there's a pivot point. There's a giant bar that comes out of the pivot point, and then there's kind of a T-shaped handle on the end, and you can do a Viking press on this unit. Well, the way it works is you can take that handle and put it upside down, and then you can make yourself a piece of equipment that is called a car deadlift. So I haven't ever actually done the car deadlift with a car per se. I've done it with that upside down Viking press handle, and it's pretty cool. I think if I had to prepare for a car deadlift, I think it could have worked back in the day when I was doing a lot of strongman. But no, the answer is I never competed on it or actually did a car lift. I did do. Rick Walker and I went out to Saxonburg, Pennsylvania for the Saxonburg Strength Fest. I think it was 2005. We competed against a guy named Don. Oh crap, I'm forgetting his last name. But he ended up coming in like second in World's Strongest Man. For some reason, I can't think of the guy's name last name right now. But Rick actually beat him in what would be very similar to a car deadlift, but it was actually a Hummer deadlift. The Hummer was sitting on the back of a trailer, so the leverage was a little bit different. But Don, son of a gun, I can't believe I can't remember his name. That was a cool contest. That was probably the strongest I ever was. 2005, I think it was September. So I was like 26, 27 at that time, and man, grip was good back then, and strongman was awesome. I won like $800 at that competition.
Nice.
It was awesome. Yeah, they had tremendous sponsorship for the area, and they gave like cash prizes and stuff. It was awesome. It was just crazy. But man, I can't remember his name. I'd love to give the pro strongman the recognition he deserved because he won the competition, but Rick actually beat him in that deadlift. It wasn't quite the same as a car deadlift, but it was pretty cool.
I've seen a lot of those events. It looks like it's an abbreviated range of motion. I know you have the lever effect, so you're lifting just a percentage of what the car is. and it does seem to be some flex in the apparatus even, so it probably takes a little bit out of it that much more. But it's still got to be, you know, what? I mean, you're thinking 400 or 500 plus pounds, right? I mean, it's still a substantial amount of weight, I would think anyway. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's Don Pope, too. I just Googled it, went back in time here. Don Pope, 6'4", 320 pounds, absolute brute. I saw him at the Arnold a couple years ago, and I was like, dude, are you Don Pope? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I remember you. We competed at the Saxonburg competition. He didn't know who the hell I was, man. He was totally clueless, but I knew who he was. And at that time, I actually remembered his name. So, but really, really strong dude. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, dude. You hit the nail on the head with the leverage aspects. But it would be cool to do the car deadlift hold. I think people should sign up for Todd's contest.
Well, for sure. I can't believe why. I mean, it just sounds fun. I mean, just the thought in itself. So,
yeah.
Not everybody can say they've done it. So, all right.
Yeah, buddy. Well, I got nothing else that I need to cover right now. I still have stuff from earlier in the year, but we'll get to that. You got anything else to cover for the good listeners of This Week in Grip?
No, I think I'm just trying to thumb back through a little bit of notes here, but otherwise, no. I guess I think I'm pretty covered at this point. So,
cool.
I guess the next time we talk, we'll probably have the results of the upcoming Philadelphia contest. Huh?
Yeah, I think so. If we don't, well, we'll actually be competing a week from now, so we won't be able to cover everything for this coming week, but the following week we'll definitely have some review capabilities.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and if you do, what's interesting is if you do a search on Google for Saxonburg Strongman, SAXONBURG, Strongman on Google. Let me make sure I got that right. Yep, Saxonburg Strongman. If you go down a few results, there's a Gripboard post by Rick Walker, and it talks about the Saxonburg Strength Fest competition. So if you're interested, it's there.
Nice. I'm going to check that out. All right.
Cool. All right. Good job, Alan. Thanks a lot. Why don't you take it away, big boy?
All right. Well, that's episode 51 of This Week in Grip. Everybody make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below, and I guess we'll probably be back in a couple of weeks with some more updates. We'll see you then.